This is Natural Selection Lesson 2.1, Activity 2. So we are going to be looking at this claim right here in this activity. That claim says that reproduction always creates individuals with adaptive traits. We're going to try to gather evidence to support or refute this claim. Support would mean that the claim is true, and refute would mean that the evidence goes against the claim to say that it's not true. So let's look at this discussion prompt to set us up. And it says yellow color is adaptive in a yellow level 7 environment with Carnithon. So in a previous activity, we figured out that yellow color was adaptive in a yellow 7 environment with predators, with Carnithons. It was not adaptive in this same environment without the predators. So essentially what that means is, like, if you blend in with your environment and there's predators, you have a higher chance of survival than if you don't blend in with your environment when there is predators. If there is not predators, then everyone is more likely to survive. The environment doesn't matter. The color of the environment doesn't matter because there's nothing that's helping you survive or not helping you survive because you don't have a predator. All right, so on to this. It says, do you think all australopes who reproduce will create offspring with the adaptive color yellow color trait? Why or why not? So that relates to this claim that reproduction always creates individuals with adaptive traits. So in this scenario, it is basically saying that it doesn't matter what color the australopes are. When they reproduce, they will create offspring that have a yellow color adaptive trait. So do you think that this is true? Why or why not? So pause the video, think about that real quick, and then when you're done thinking about it, come back and play the video. Okay, now that you have thought about the claim and discussion prompt, we're going to move on to page 2. So again, you cannot press on this blue link. It will not take you to the sim. You have to go to the actual application, the app, to get to the sim. So I have the sim up. It told us to go to reproduction claims. So I need to go to the little hamburger and find reproduction claims and turn it on. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running this, and I'm going to slow it down so that we don't get through a bunch of generations. Now I'm going to find a australope that is not the color of the environment. So this would be a non-adaptive trait. We can see there are predators present. Carnithons are present. And so blue does not blend in with the environment. Therefore, that is a non-adaptive trait. So if I select an individual australope, it will have this blue circle around it. And then also over here, you can see what it's doing. It has found a mate, and it has a color trait of 1. So you're going to be needing to record these color traits. So you'll have to be selecting on individual australopes. And specifically, you're trying to find australopes who are about to reproduce. So you can see that this one has found a mate. So I'm going to play it. So this is one way. Another way is they start bouncing when they're getting ready to reproduce. So if I keep following this one, see how it's bouncing? Oops, now it's fleeing. Let's try fleeing. Now I'm trying to find one that's bouncing to show you what I'm talking about, and they're all getting eaten, which is fantastic. Okay, let's see. All right, right here. See how they're bouncing? I don't think you could see that very well. Let's click on this one. Again, bouncing. That one's running. Why is it got to be difficult right now? Running. Bouncing. See how it's found a mate? See how it's bouncing? So you can see its status by doing that, or you can look for ones that are bouncing. See how they're all bouncing? That means they're getting ready to mate. That's like they're doing their little dance. So anyways, So I'm going to reset this to start it over because there's been some generations that have gone by. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to find australopes with non-adaptive traits. So in between the trials, you need to make sure that you reset the sim. So I am going to select an australope that does not blend in with this environment. Okay, I'm going to pick this one. It is blue. It does not blend in with this environment. Color level 1. And then I'm going to follow it until it reproduces. So this is where, and if it happens to get eaten, okay, it's going to reproduce. So I'm pausing. I'm going to slow it down. And then after it reproduces, I'm going to pause again. So these were the parents. This is the offspring. So you have to pause it here because you have to record the parent color level trait, or the parent color trait level. So this first parent has a 1. So I'll come in here and I'll write 1. And then this parent has a 2. So then I'll come in here and I'll write 2. And then this offspring has a 1. So then I'll write 1. And then I will reset the sim. And we have to reset it because we're going to start seeing generations where adaptive traits are surviving and non-adaptive are not surviving. We know these are non-adaptive because they're not blending in with their environment in the presence of the Carnithons. Therefore, if we wait too long, we're not going to see blue anymore, and we want to. So I have to reset this, do the same thing, find a non-adaptive one, press play, and wait for it to reproduce, and then record the values here. All right. So then you're going to find, once you do 2 of those, you'll find australopes with adaptive traits. So adaptive is it blends in with the environment. So you can see that like this one's pretty close to its environment. So you'd be selecting ones that are more yellow. This kind of yellowish greenish is what I would be looking for. So you do that and then answer the question here. So that's it. There's going to be 2 parts, 2 videos. So this first video, you're going to do 2.1 activity 2, complete pages 1 and 2 while following along with this video. And then once you're done, you're going to watch part 2. Don't press hand in quite yet, but when you're done, we'll continue up and talk about this.